Good morning. Just wanted to talk briefly about waste water for an RODI system. Let's first take a look at the RODI unit itself. Alright, the water comes in from the city into this solenoid, and then it first goes into the sediment filter, then to the carbon, then to the RO. Then this comes out the top of the RO, that's your wastewater line, which comes into this 5-gallon bucket. Now everybody says run that down your drain, into your toilet, down the sink, just let it get rid of it. I love to garden, and I do keep other tanks, fresh water. Seems kind of the big waste is really getting rid of perfectly good, perfectly clean water when I could be using it for that. So what I'm doing is simply putting my now wastewater, that they call it, to my very clean water that I will be using for my other tanks. What will I have to do? I'm going to have to add in a few chemicals, of course, fertilizers and stuff because of my planted tanks. And I've got to make sure it's balanced for my shrimp. And that's it. The RO water is, as you can see, dripping down into this bucket. This is the RODI, I should say. And that's going to be used to make salt. So instead of wasting, I'm actually saving water. Your ratio is 3 to 1 is what they say. 3 gallons of waste to 1 gallon of RODI water. Which, when I've got enough to do my fish tanks, my fresh water, let me preface that, these are for fresh water, then I will use the rest of it on the garden. Now, I wanted to do a little cheating update as well. Remember my hostas from last year that I was growing underwater in the Yankee Candle jars? There they are. Well, there's one of them anyway. The others are still in the kitchen. Doing perfectly fine. If I could find one. Yeah, let's see if I can get it. There you go. There's a shrimp. I actually have 5 shrimp in here. They've been in here since day one. There's another one right there. There's 5 of them in there. Plus snails. They've been doing really good since day one. This gets a 100% water change every week from the city tap. Now, I'm doing nothing special. This is just straight out of my faucet. So that's what it looks like. You can see how clean it is. There's a really good picture. See if it'll focus in on him. And it is sealed, so you can see how that's working. I've been using the RO water in this for the last week now. 2 weeks. 2 weeks now, sorry. And all I've been doing is adding a little bit of a fertilizer for the plants. And as far as feeding of what goes on my snails and the shrimp, I feed them once every 2 weeks, a couple pellets. Mostly what they're doing is they're doing what they do in nature. They're eating algae. And this has been up since, don't quote me on this, but if I remember correctly, last June? So this hosta never went dormant. The other 2 did. So apparently some hostas will go dormant, some won't. You can see it's got really good fresh growth right here. This little leaf right here, that's fresh growth. You can see the difference actually in the fresh growth and what was grown above water. Just doing really good.